super nice about UT. They kind of like, Austin had rezoned the city and pushed all the students basically to West Campus. It's super fun just because literally everyone's there. I always talk with my friends, when's the next time in our life that we'll be able to like have our friends like 5 minutes down the road?
They say college is the best 4 years of your life. And where you live and who you live with is a big part of what makes it great. I'm Laura, and I talk to students across the country about their student living experiences, the good, the bad, and the memorable, so you can learn from them and truly make these your best 4. This episode is brought to you by Rambler Austin. Rambler is a student apartment located in West Campus, just blocks away from the University of Texas. Y'all, this place is stunning. The first time that I walked in, I was absolutely blown away. I want you to think Tulum meets Austin meets retro. Also, the amenities are insane. They have a sauna, a resort-style pool, 2-level gym, and my personal favorite, on-site coffee shop called Daydreamer Cafe. The Rambler Matcha, my personal fave. I highly recommend checking out their website, rambleratx.com, for loads of information about anything you need to know about student housing. Plus, you can get your application fee waived by using the code THEBEST4. So again, application fee waived by using the code THEBEST4, THEBESTFOUR. Today, I'm here with Riley.
Hey, Laura.
Hi, Riley. Good. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me.
Good. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, literally anytime. Just down the street.
So tell me a little bit about you. You're a UT student.
Yes.
What's your year? What's your major?
I'm going to be a junior. So upperclassman. I do advertising at Moody. So I get like a little bit of creative stuff, some analytics in there. But yeah, just a good time. Honestly, love coffee.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you in any organizations on campus?
I'm in Absolute Texas. It's going to be a co-ed spirit org. Super fun. I have a bunch of friends. We do tailgates and things.
Cool.
We'll go to games, have some parties.
Yeah, I love that. And what do you do for work right now?
I'm a CA. I work at Rambler in Austin. And so I kind of just help in the office wherever they need. We've been doing a lot of leasing lately. So that's kind of been the focus, and some creative stuff like capturing reels and things.
Awesome. So where is Rambler?
So it's in West Campus.
West Campus, okay.
It's for UT Austin, so super close. We're like a block away at the front.
So diving in a little bit about your student living experience, where are you from?
I'm from the Dallas area. I know everyone's from a metro, so I'm way south Dallas.
Yeah.
It's called Midlothian, a little tiny town.
I've heard of Midlothian.
Yeah, it's super fun. I definitely don't go back as much as I should. But yeah, little southern experience.
So you came from Texas, so you're an in-state student. Where did you live your freshman year?
I lived at Jester West. West is obviously the best. What can I say? I think I lived
Is there a Jester East?
Yeah, it's an East and West. It's two like huge buildings. It used to be like the biggest in Texas or something. I think I like lived in my brother's same room like 16 years ago. Yeah, it's actually crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was like FaceTiming him once and he was like, wait, go outside. And he was like, that's literally my place.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I kind of just didn't know like of anything else. I just knew about like on-campus housing, so that's how I ended up there.
So you lived at Jester West, which is a dorm.
Yeah.
An on-campus
Yeah, it's
dorm?
on campus. It's over by Greg. So it's right off Speedway. It's super close to the PCL. It's super fun. Like it's kind of on top of everything.
Yeah.
You get the gym. You're like right next to DKR Stadium. So we get to see Texas ball. Super easy. But yeah, it's just on top of everything. So.
So you had a true freshman year dorm experience. Would you recommend Jester to incoming freshmen?
Yeah, it's definitely, for me, like I felt like I needed to grow up and have that experience. So for some, that's definitely a good way to go. Like I definitely cherish my time. I knew a bunch of people on my floor, like the 3 doors down. And so I definitely really just like the heritage that came with it. Like I'm on campus, I get to do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I knew though, so.
Okay, you said that's all you knew. Did you have a lot of knowledge about housing coming in as a freshman?
Not really. Like my brother lived on campus. He did the dorm for 2 or 3 years. And so that's kind of what we figured I would do. Just get that first like trial, I'm living away. I have a meal, like a dining hall down below me. That I also needed that. Like there's no way I was going to be cooking last year.
Right.
So it was just a lot of conveniences that it's just always there.
Yeah. So why did you choose an on-campus dorm versus an off-campus? Did you know that there were off-campus dorms?
I knew there was like Castilian, like Casti, but I didn't know too much about it. I knew it was very Greek life. and that wasn't necessarily where I
Yeah.
saw myself. I would go to visit my friends and things, but it wasn't for me. So
Yeah. So are there any other dorms that you would recommend besides Jester?
My friend lives in the honor squad. I hear mixed things. Like, it's definitely very studious. You get to
Yeah.
go ahead and have your nice quiet hallway. So that's definitely a plus. They have a nice courtyard. But I only know people really that lived in Jester just because it's so big. Like, it's massive.
Okay.
So
You said that, what was the one that you just said? Honors?
there's the honors quad. So
Honors
it's like
quad.
4 buildings. It's up north.
And you said that was very studious. So
Yeah.
what was the culture like at Jester
Oh,
West?
yeah. So Jester, there's definitely always something going on. Like, you'll get off the elevator at 2 a.m. Someone's up roaming the hall doing something. Like, someone's awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. So what is something that you wish that you knew as an incoming freshman about housing?
I wish I knew there were more options. I don't know what I probably would have gone the same way, but I definitely think if UT was a little more open with like what all is available, just because
Right.
I saw their one apartment that they have and I was like, that seems so expensive comparatively. Like, I would just get my meal plan,
Right.
that type of thing.
So you had a meal plan?
Yeah.
Would you
It's-
recommend freshmen getting meal plans?
UT does it it's awesome. It's like so communal, kind of communism. It's great. Like, everyone gets the same meal plan.
Yeah.
You're all paying for the same thing.
really? So there's not
It's all
tiers?
unlimited.
Okay.
So there's actually like commuter meal plans. So if you live off campus, you can go ahead and do that. And so I did that this year. I got
Okay.
one of the 60 meal plans. It gave me some flexibility. I knew I'd have a lot of exams. I knew I'd have stuff. And so for like exam week, I could go ahead and get breakfast. I could do all the things.
That's nice.
And then not have to worry about meal prepping.
You said 60. So
Yeah.
if you have a commuter versus a
Yeah,
non,
yeah.
what are the differences in the two?
If you live on campus, they go ahead and give you the full thing. So you get like unlimited meal swipes.
Yeah.
You get like dine-in dollars, Bevo bucks, the whole works.
What
And
are
then-
those? What are Bevo
Okay,
bucks?
so it's kind of some places on Guad and some places around UT, like some local establishments will go
Got
ahead and
it.
take those.
Okay.
So Cabo Bob's is a great place.
That's
yeah, it's super nice
awesome.
to have.
I love that.
And then for the commuter meal plans, they have the 20, 60, and unlimited. And so you can kind of like range if you need to.
2060 like
So it's
meals
like taps, like tap to pay.
taps
back to it.
a month or how
For the
many?
whole contract. So it would be like for the semester. It carries over. So if you don't use all of it, you
And
can,
how much is that?
I want to say it's around $400 to $600.
Okay.
I
Do you think
I think
that's
it's
worth it?
It was good for me because I was able to have the flexibility from it. I mean, we live right next to Kin's, and so I
Yeah.
was like, I'm a big breakfast person, and sometimes I
Right.
just didn't shop, so I
Yeah.
could go ahead and just have it. So it definitely worked out for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, kind of going back to dorm living, what would you say are the pros to dorm living, and what would you say are the cons?
So I'd say the biggest pro is location. Like, I would be able to go to Greg at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I could,
And what is Greg? Maybe
Greg,
for the people that don't know.
that don't go to UT. Greg's gonna be the big gymnasium.
Okay.
The volleyball team always plays there. That's their place. There's always like Wednesday volleyball, and so my friends and I would line up. We would get out of class. We would go line up, and we were like first in line because we lived there.
Yeah.
And then there was like an Alabama game. We were able to wake up at like 4 a.m. We got there
Wow.
at 4:30.
So location pro.
Yeah.
Any other pros?
Location is pro. Meal, like dining hall downstairs, pro. The environment and the culture, like everyone's there. It's like you're a freshman at UT, you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
Just everyone being there, you're always like able to see something that you would never expect. Like
Yeah.
if you want your college experience, you got it there.
How many people lived at Jester West, would you say?
Maybe 1,400. Like, it's
Okay, so
massive.
it's
It's like
big.
14 stories.
Yeah.
You can get lost in the back rooms. Like, there's an alley.
So we talked about some of the pros of living in an on-campus dorm at UT. What would you say some cons are?
Biggest con would literally just be the laundry. I'm so privileged to be able to say that, but waiting until 2 a.m., I promise I wasn't waiting until Sunday.
2 a.m.?
Yes. There were multiple times where I'm just like there's like one machine because the other two are broken on the floor.
Okay.
And it's massive, and everyone's like, I don't know how it gets that late. I'll start at 11. Someone will take out my laundry from the machine. I would get
11 a.m. or 11 p.m.?
11 p.m. It's totally me waiting on it.
Okay,
It's definitely
I was
my
gonna
fault.
say, yeah.
It's definitely my fault for sure.
What would be another con of living on an on-campus dorm at UT?
Another one of my cons of living on campus at UT would probably be the actual like rooms. Love them. They're great. They're from the 50s or whatever. They're nice and old. Retro, I know. Retro chic. It's so cute. But living in that little box with another person, no matter how nice they are, like it can just get rough.
I think that's a transition, you know, going from having your own room, maybe.
Yeah, I did. I'm an only child, thank goodness. I could not do.
Wow, okay, an only child.
An only child tries double occupancy challenge. Like, no, actually, it was fun the first time around. I had my roommate Tommy. He was great, and yeah, he was awesome. He was in Greek life. We both had different schedules. We would hang sometimes. Yeah, and then he had to move back home. Yeah. It was like 2 months of bliss. I had no roommate. It was my own room. I got to do whatever I wanted. I had my own space. Yeah. And then finally UT emails me and they're like, hey, we found a replacement. No. This man, I really hope he's not watching this. I'm not going to say his name, but one time, it was the first weekend we met. Literally that first weekend, he goes out. He had a little too much to drink. This will get gross, but had a little too much to drink.
We're here for the memorable.
Yeah, this is the memorable.
This was memorable.
This is ingrained, like deep-seated in my brain. Yeah. Comes back an hour and a half later. It's nothing. There's no time has been passed. And he's stumbling. His friends push him in and they just prop him in the chair. The lights are off. I'm trying to go to bed. Yeah. And he is making some noises. Oh gosh. And then he projectile vomits. No. And so then he's unconscious. I don't know him. First weekend. I'm like, how do I clean this up? I'm like,
oh gosh.
2 a.m. again, calling my mom, hey. It was just me. I cleaned it up.
That's tough. So living in a double occupancy room, having those couple months by yourself, do you think that that's maybe what?
Yeah, it was bliss.
Kind of moving. Yeah.
It was great. It was definitely I can see the light at the tunnel. It wasn't too bad the first roommate. It definitely depends on who you have. We vibed, but I definitely got a little taste of what it would be like to live my little hot life in Austin, do my thing, and have my own room. So yeah, definitely helpful.
Kind of moving on to your sophomore year, which you just finished your sophomore year.
Yeah, woohoo! I made it. I did it.
Officially an upperclassman. Crazy. So where did you live your sophomore year at UT?
Yeah, so my sophomore year, I lived at Rambler, right next to UT. So super close, super cute. Love the vibes. I also work there, so I am a CA, so I get the inside scoop. Definitely enjoy that. But it's been fun. I definitely enjoy it's a big community.
It's off campus?
Yeah.
And off campus.
So it's off campus. Super nice about UT. They kind of Austin had rezoned the city and pushed all the students basically to West Campus. Okay. And so it's really you have that community. A lot of undergrads, everyone's there. That's where all the Greek life is. Okay. A bunch of spirit orgs, they all have houses there. It's super fun just because literally everyone's there. I always talk with my friends, when's the next time in our life that we'll be able to have our friends 5 minutes down the road? I don't know. I don't know of a time. I talk to my parents, and I think we take that for granted a lot. No matter what, just being in that neighborhood is so awesome. And I hope I can live in a city like that again. Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. I think back a lot to my college living experience and being in a townhome with all my friends. We were looking a little cul-de-sac with a bunch of other people we knew. And that's awesome. I miss it all the time.
That's so sweet. Actually, I want to do a house because I'm it just seems so fun. You get those memories, little house parties. Yeah. Wine Wednesday,
the morning after debrief.
Oh, yes. The debriefs go crazy.
Or the getting ready. Yeah. And then you go out in the morning after debrief. I do. Yeah. You will miss that.
Oh,
when you're out of college.
No,
so
it's great.
Cherish it now.
I go after class and we'll walk to another apartment and we'll be having the best time in the bathroom. We're all they're all getting ready. I'm not. I'm sitting there patiently, been ready for an hour and a half. We're having a good time. So
I love that.
There's 40,000 people and it feels all of them. It's the best feeling.
Yeah. And that's living in West Campus.
Yeah. That is literally living in West Campus. It's just, everyone's right there.
So do some sophomores choose to live in the dorms again, or do they mostly move?
I know friends that live on campus as sophomores. Okay. My friend Isaiah, he lives in the honor squad, and so he's done that the second year. It really worked out for him.
Do you know why he chose to stay in the dorms?
I think it was a really good location. He's in Plan 2, so very studious. It's pretty good price,
Plan 2?
Plan 2. Oh, You haven't talked to a Plan 2 student.
No.
It's like the glorified, I'm
Are you
sorry, I'm
Plan
not
1?
crapping.
Are
No,
you Plan 3?
right?
No, I'm kidding.
I don't get
What
any
is-
number. Like, it's so sad. I'm just a student.
Yeah.
Plan 2 is going to be the honors program at UT
Okay.
Austin.
So for him, living in a dorm makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because he
Yeah,
needs
it's a lot of
quiet time
connection.
to study and all
yeah,
that.
definitely.
So some sophomores do choose to live off campus their sophomore year.
I debated it. I debated living on, like staying on campus that second year. I definitely just really wanted my privacy. I wanted that
Right.
my own room. I could have done that in Jester in another dorm. They do have that, but the flexibility of having a kitchen, that's another thing.
Yeah, I
is,
wanted
like,
to talk
cooking
to
your
you
own
about
meal.
that.
I'm not the best cook by all means, or by
Yeah.
any means. Like I could not cook to save my life, but like making your own ramen that's not in a little microwave tin, or just chefing up some chicken Alfredo, making a salad,
Yeah.
a smoothie, great.
So is that something that you think that you were really missing
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you were in a dorm?
When I was on campus, I definitely did not have the full kitchen. I wish I could have been able to watch my diet better. Like I definitely attribute that for sure.
Yeah.
I did just fine, but I know I could have been more conscious. I've learned a lot of things. I took nutrition, and so there were a lot of things I wanted to implement and try and make that I just couldn't. So
Yeah. So was Rambler already built, or was this one that was kind of in the works and new development?
So Rambler at UT was a new development. It was its first year. Kind of that first year, my friends had heard about it. We went to go get some free coffee. Honestly, amazing. The free coffee is a must. I definitely recommend. Daydreamer is awesome.
Plug Daydreamer.
Plug Daydreamer, like at Daydreamer Cafe right now. Everyone go follow. Obviously, they're the best. Lynn, everyone's amazing.
Yeah.
But other than that, I got to go ahead and they had a little mock kitchen, what your living room would look like, that type of stuff. And so it's a good idea of like what I'm able to get for this next year. And they had really good prices. So
I've heard from other UT students that it's kind of the hot new thing. Like everybody moves to a new dev.
yeah.
Do you think that that's true?
It was so cool. Like that's all the buzz. I think that was a lot of it was
Right.
there was so much buzz about Rambler. I'm sure other places as well, but specifically about Rambler, everyone was talking about it. It was a cool place to be.
So what has your experience been like coming from a dorm, moving into a new development?
Moving into a new development after being in a dorm, I was glorifying this. This was amazing. I would have my own kitchen. I'd have my own room. You can't deny like having your own room is amazing. It's a must. And so just being able to have that own space and freedom was
More independence.
Yeah, more
You would say
independence. You
more
could go do your own
independence.
thing.
Was there any like curfews or any rules at Jester West that?
Oh, there's no curfew, but
Yeah.
there's basically after I think it's 11 or 12, you have to swipe in. And so no matter what you're doing, you have to swipe in. So you look crusty after a night out. You look crazy. Your
Yeah.
hair is insane.
Yeah.
If you're visiting someone, you have to go swipe in. Someone has to bring you down to tap you in.
Okay, so
it's a lot of
swipe in,
pressure.
like you have to like
You have
see
to go
a
to the
human
door.
being.
Yeah. There's a human there sitting, watching everyone walk by.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing. You don't have to swipe in
You
on
don't
an
have to do that. You
off-campus
don't have to
apartment.
see anybody.
You can just get to your room.
Yeah,
That walk is bliss.
that's great.
Yeah.
What about the bathroom situation?
Oh, yes. I love a communal bathroom. I love a communal bathroom.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. So definitely not. So we have our little corner. Everyone, I'd say it's probably 8 to 12 people probably share a bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like a boys' bathroom, a girls' bathroom.
Okay.
Kind of sectioned off. And it's just crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many people.
I bet it's
Someone
kinda
would.
gross.
It's really gross. I don't know what
Do they
would
keep
happen.
it clean? Who's in
so
charge
they
of
clean,
cleaning it?
They clean daily.
Okay.
I think they clean twice a day technically. But if you would destroy the toilet, I don't know what they would do. But we would literally get our toilet privileges revoked. Like
What?
they would put like a
What do you
they would
mean?
put a bag over the toilet if it was clogged. If it was like unbelievably clogged, and it would be like that for a week or 2 weeks. So we'd be down to 2 toilets. At the end of the semester, it was like we had 1 toilet. My friends, like they didn't have a toilet for, I'm not kidding, a week. Like it was over a week.
Where did they go? What did they do?
I don't know. They went down the hall.
Starbies?
Yeah, no, literally. They would go to Jindy's. Is going to be the Wendy's inside of Jester. Jindy's. There's a lot of history to this Jindy's, okay?
Yeah. So bathroom, obviously massive upgrade going from dorms to Rambler. Do
Yeah.
you have your own? Did you have your own bathroom?
No, I did not have my own bathroom whenever I lived like off campus that first year for myself. I shared a bathroom with one other person. So it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
It's still an upgrade.
It's an upgrade.
Yeah.
I cannot stress enough. That was a breeze. That was a walk in the park. We could clean it ourselves. We knew each other. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about hosting? Having people over?
Oh, yeah. So definitely, whenever we host, all of my roommates, we love to have people over. So it's super
good that
nice.
You guys are on the same page about that.
Well, I say that. We definitely are mostly on the same page about it. I like having people over. It's fun to meet everyone's friends. I definitely recommend living with a lot of people. I'm a very social person.
Yeah.
My battery gets filled by others around me.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So
Aries.
apparently fiery, but yeah.
Social.
Social, very social. Yeah. I hope my roommates enjoy it.
Yeah.
They all have a good time, but we get to host a bunch. We have a good floor plan. We have a little island.
This episode is brought to you by Daydreamer Cafe, every college student's favorite coffee shop. Daydreamer offers amazing handcrafted coffee, espresso, and my personal favorite, matcha, in a beautifully designed space. With 2 locations on West Campus, Daydreamer is the perfect spot for UT students to grab coffee or study with friends. Download the Daydreamer app and use our promo code BEST410 for 10% off your first mobile order. That's BESTFOUR10. So we talked a little bit about how you found out about Rambler as a freshman. Yeah. When did you sign your lease to live at Rambler?
So I signed in September of the year before.
Wow.
So I know for a lot of places.
So almost like a full year before.
Yeah, a full year. All my friends that go to Tech and go to CSTAT, none of them, like all the other Texas schools, they all sign in maybe February.
Wow.
And it's crazy. My brain can't handle. Yeah. How could you not know where you're going to be?
Exactly.
It's just like a given thing that you're expected to know. Like you should have had your roommates by then, obviously.
So you think that housing at UT is just way more competitive than other universities?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. I think there is a lot of competition, just the actual neighborhood itself being in West Campus. Like having a good place, a place to host at is super nice. And so there's only so much, I guess. And so that's probably why. Yeah. It's also nice whenever you have a bunch of friends living in the same building. I know a lot of sororities and my spirit org, they'll go ahead and do that where it's like.
Do people in your spirit org live at Rambler with you?
I know a few. That wasn't the reason why we signed. But it's nice to have a friendly face down a few floors down. And so just having that little neighborhood inside of the place is super cool too.
How did you find your roommates going from living in the dorms? Because we heard about your last roommate. Few. So the way I found my roommates off campus, so I found them organically, really. So one of them was a friend of a friend. Remi's awesome. He's so cool. Yeah. We vibe super well. He's a great roommate. That's how I found him. It was a 4-person. I had another friend that just joined as well. He needed a place. Like friends of friends.
Yeah.
How did you get the word out? Did you post anywhere? Did you text a chat? How did you get connected with these people?
Yeah, so I got connected with these people just through friends. It took a while. I definitely texted some people in my org. Not everyone's budget lines up, and so that's a big thing. Right. Obviously, you want to be able to do what you can, live what you can, and so that's a big thing. And so I honestly was through my friend Ava. They grew up together, Remy and Ava, so that's how I found him. Okay. A lot of friends. I didn't really post necessarily. Yeah. It's definitely a good resource. I know people.
Do people post?
Yeah. I see people all the time. The big thing right now is the UT Snap pages. So every UT class gets a Snap page, and at the end of the year, it's all just apartments. It's hey, come live in my 4-person apartment.
Just for the people that maybe don't know about Snapchat, maybe the elder millennials.
Oh, that's okay. I'm on Reels. I do Instagram for them.
I'm on Reels.
I love Reels, but for Snapchat, for a lot of Gen Z, we use it to text our friends. A lot of instant messaging, but there's a stories feature, and so it's just for your class for that own story. Yeah. And you can see the other classes too. You just can't post to them.
But you did not find your roommates that way. You just found through friends. But people will post there,
That's not entirely true. One was I had one spot open, and so it was a random roommate. When I'm on a tour, I'm telling people, I'm the rando. I love him. He's great. We re-signed next year.
I think that's good to know.
He's
that
awesome.
You can match with people randomly, and it goes well.
I don't know how we vibe so well. We share a bathroom together. he's more clean than me. I'm probably the dirtier one, but we have good schedules.
Yeah.
He sleeps on a reasonable time.
Yeah.
He's not up in the middle of the night or anything.
You guys fill out a survey though, right? When you roommate match. So y'all probably matched in
that's
way
true.
a
We
bit.
do roommate matching, and so it's kind of like, are you an early riser? Do you drink?
Do you think people lie on those though?
Oh, definitely. I'm positive all of them should say clean, because if you're outwardly saying, I mean, maybe that's a good thing, but if you're outwardly saying you're dirty,
think you should say you're outwardly, like if you're not
you should.
super clean.
Yeah, you should. You should be upfront about it.
You
It should be
should.
honest. You really should. I don't know. I'm pretty neat, so I think it worked out. Honestly, yeah, roommate matching worked out for us. Is the
Great.
moral of the story.
Don't be afraid to roommate match.
No.
Moral of the story.
Moral of the story, don't be afraid of
But
roommate
you
match.
have to be honest on your survey.
Yes.
If you're not
please.
honest on your
Oh,
survey.
and include, like a little insider tip, please include your allergies. If you're allergic to a cat, we don't want to hear about it 2 weeks before. We
Yeah.
want to know. We want to make sure that you're
have to
not
put
with a
that on there.
cat. So
Yeah.
send us your little allergy thing. We want to make sure that you have a good time.
Right.
Yeah, that's something we ran
So that's a
into.
good segue into being a community assistant
Yes.
at
Yeah.
Rambler. So
Yeah.
you also work there. You don't just live
Yes.
there. You work there.
I wear 2 hats. Super fun working and living at my place at Rambler.
Are there any other perks of,
Ooh.
living and working at Rambler?
The perks for me, like working where I live, I really enjoy getting to know what's going on. I definitely like that. So I get the inside scoop. I enjoy that aspect.
Yeah.
But other than that,
You're in the know.
I'm in the know. I'm definitely in the know. But I get some coffee discounts,
Okay.
a little things, some good coffee.
Rambler has a on-site
yeah.
cafe, right?
Yeah, so Rambler has
Yeah.
Daydreamer Cafe. Again, plugging Daydreamer as they need to. They need to be hyped up.
Yeah.
And so that's always nice to have a good half price latte. So
Do you get any rent discounts or anything?
yeah. So we did just start getting a rent discount. That's been pretty awesome.
How much is it?
So it's 20% whenever you start, and it goes up to 30% at a year.
Okay.
So if you stick around,
Yeah.
I'm saying you get commissions, and then you also get
Yeah.
your rent discount.
So you're getting paid,
Yeah, I get paid.
you're getting commission,
I get commission
and you're getting a rent discount.
and some coffee on the side.
And
on
some
occasion.
coffee. So it seems like a pretty good gig.
Yeah.
If you're looking for
Yeah.
sales, marketing.
Exactly.
and-
If you're doing your advertising thing, if you're doing your marketing stuff, it's a great spot. I mean, even business, it's negotiating. You're
Yeah.
getting a lot of that. If you're doing art, my coworker does. She's an art major, like a studio art major, and so she gets to work on a lot of fun projects with that too.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
Good to see your eye, little creative stuff.
So being on the other side of leasing, being a community assistant at a building in West Campus, what are would you say the top 3 things that students need to be considering when they're deciding on a place to live?
When you're deciding on a place to live and you're in that leasing office, there's a few things that you should probably consider. I'd probably say first and foremost is having your price in mind
Yeah.
and having that conversation with your family, just so you know what's achievable. And then also understanding what comes along with that in fees and things. So some places will have a green fee, and some places will have a floor premium or an attached bathroom premium. And so those things add up. So make sure to have that conversation whenever you're there so you know what you're expecting down the line. That's
Do you think it's a red flag if
Yes.
apartments are kind of
yes.
dancing around?
It's so weird. In a time where we're inundated with information, it doesn't really make sense why you would hide your price and call 3 times. We're all going to find it eventually. It just makes, we all want things now. We're students, we're Gen Z, and we're
Yeah.
going to be frustrated if you kind of bury the lead or whatnot.
Absolutely.
And so I definitely recommend, we have, not self-promo, but we have a little tab that has fees and things all outlined. And so that's a super important thing because they're going to be signing a legal document. They're going to see it eventually.
Right.
And so put those things in there, include that. Have it on the website. That's super important. It is a bit of a red flag if they don't. Because it's why do I need to call you? It's 2024. I call my family.
Who's calling?
Who's calling?
Who's calling these
I'll
days?
FaceTime my family.
Yeah.
Am I going to FaceTime a leasing agent? No,
Yeah.
definitely not.
Maybe I'll text you.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Maybe.
I love a good text.
We'll Instagram DM.
Yeah. Always DMs.
Do you guys do a lot of business in the Instagram DMs?
Strictly business in the DMs. We do crazy business in the Instagram DMs.
Hilarious.
No, it's so fun because it's you're literally getting all your info from a little social media app. You're getting your little fees. Send us a DM, tag us, do your thing. It's so much fun reading through the DMs.
Yeah.
So
So question 1.
yeah.
what am I actually paying for?
Yeah, what am I
are the
actually paying
fees?
for?
Yeah.
Question number 2, what's your roommate matching looking like? So that's a big thing. If you don't have a full group, what is going to be like, what are you going to be able to offer? Is there a lot of availability in that floor plan? That means you're working with a wider pool. You might end up finding a really good roommate that way. Another good thing that I'd say, whenever you're on your tour and asking and checking in with your leasing agent, check in about what do they offer extra? Like, are there resident events? I feel like we do a pretty good job offering fun things.
Yeah.
We had a charcuterie board, a vintage market. It's super fun, like a little extra thing that you can go ahead and grab. It's a community. You want to meet some cool people there. It's a ton of people. Again, you're not living with this many people ever again, probably. And so it's nice to be able to have a place and have stuff to go back to. Another thing I'd say too, like when you're going on a tour and you're with that leasing agent, see how the place looks. I'm fortunate to be at Rambler. It's a very pretty property. It smells good. Notice the smells. Those are big things. I know it's so funny. Someone's always like, what's that smell? It's Fabuloso and a candle. It's amazing what it can do. And so that's a big thing of like, do they take pride? Do they take care of where they are? Because that's going to like go further how they treat you, I guess.
Would you say it's important to sign early? A lot of people push that urgency. A lot of buildings do. Do you agree?
Whenever you're signing for a place in West Campus, it's super competitive.
Yeah.
So I definitely recommend signing early. If you have a full group, you're able to lock that in. It's awesome to not have the headache down the line because some stuff happens throughout the year, things change, and so it's good to just be able to have that. It's not something you're worrying about in the future. That's on the back of your mind.
Yeah.
You're able to get your finals done. You're able to do your own thing, and so that's a big thing of signing early, I'd say.
Have you ever had to deal with like a roommate straggler that just like won't sign? Do you see
Yes,
that a lot?
actually, yes.
Do you see that a
Yes,
lot?
we see that all the time. And I'm so shocked that the other people don't just step in and be like, hey, like, let's get this going. I'm not letting you fill that because they will fill that spot. They so will. And so I had that kind of this past year. One of my friends had joined us and I was just like, hey, like a little nudge, like, what's up? Are you going to finish this?
Right.
They're all getting on my butt. Like, I want to make sure it's
you said
done.
that the apartment will fill that spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty
Is there
competitive.
a specific like timeline that they'll hold that spot for?
Yeah, I don't know if it's standard.
Yeah.
But for us at Rambler, we'll go ahead and hold the spot for like 48 hours, 72 hours.
Wow. That's
It
fast.
depends on the demand, but
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go ahead and hold it for them. Honestly, we do our best. Like, we want to make sure that everything works out. We're trying to work with them. And so if there's a conversation with the family that they're needing to wait on, or if they need to hear back from FAFSA, we do work with that.
Yeah,
so
that's a
it's
little bit
always
different, yeah.
like, have those conversations. Explain what's going on in your life because we see y'all as someone who's coming here. We don't know, we don't necessarily know what's going on.
Right.
And so it's good to keep them in the loop because if
Yeah.
I know that you need to hear back about FAFSA or like something had just changed or maybe you're going to a different university, those are big things that are big factors we'll be patient on.
So looking ahead, where are you going to be living your junior year?
I'm living at Rambler my junior year, obviously.
So you decided to stay.
Yeah, I decided to
Obviously,
stay.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
have a job there.
I do.
So what are some other reasons why you chose to renew versus moving, especially
Yeah,
if the
this
hot
is-
new thing
Yeah,
is
it's something else.
yeah.
So I talked with my roommates because we all vibed with each other. We all realized like, hey, this could work really well. We respect each other. It's a really good environment. And so we had that conversation pretty early on of like, we'd like to stick together and do whatever is best for like the three of us and whatnot. And so having that conversation, we were able to realize like one of my roommates is studying abroad right now. And so it'd be really difficult for them to move everything and go
Right.
somewhere else. So that was a big point of contingency.
So you're able to stay
Yeah.
at Rambler
Yeah.
over the summer?
Yes.
Are you staying in the same unit?
Yeah, so we
Okay.
offer full year leases at Rambler.
Nice.
It's super
Is
nice if
that-
you have an internship.
Okay.
It's super great. I mean, Austin's a cool place. I don't know about all of y'all, but I'm from Midlothian. Love it. There's not that much to do. We don't have Barton Springs. Patrice's at the Vortex isn't there.
Just definitely don't have
South Congress isn't there.
that. Right.
Anything but a
So
city.
you wanted to stay. So where you live at Rambler offers full year leases. Is that common in West Campus apartments?
Yeah. So in West Campus apartments, it's pretty common to go ahead and offer a full year lease. It's honestly, I'd say it's probably the standard. It's going to be, you're in Austin, you're getting your experience. You can take a summer class. It's a great way to just be here, establish your roots. You can still go home and hang and do all your stuff, but it does have peace of mind just to not have to move your stuff out for 3 months and come back.
Right.
Because that's a big turnover for no time.
So what if you decide to move apartments?
Yeah.
Is there a weird lull time where?
Yeah. So the way a lease works in West Campus, it's going to be kind of midway through August. So it's that weekend before that weekend before school starts is whenever the whole neighborhood moves in. There is going to be a weird 2-week period. And so.
But that doesn't happen if you renew.
Yeah. If you renew, that doesn't happen. Okay. We also work with our renewal transfers. So if you want to transfer a unit and you get on it early enough, we're pretty flexible with that. We try and work through a turn board and make sure that we can fit you in.
Yeah.
But typically, if you were to go ahead and leave, or if you're moving to a different place in West Campus, there's going to be that 2-week period of just sitting at your friend's place, and you moved your boxes to a little storage unit, but you had to pay the whole month.
Is that usually what people do, is they just put their stuff in a storage unit?
Yeah.
How much do those usually cost?
So that's a good question. I think it's about $70 a month.
Okay.
It depends on the size. You can get a 3x5, a 5x5. Yeah. I stored my marimba in one once. It's like a really big xylophone. It's massive. It's a 6-foot-long xylophone. And so I got to play it there. So yes, there's totally options nearby to store your stuff while you're waiting to move for an apartment. But it's pretty inconvenient. You're going to have to drive to East Austin. You're going to have to drive downtown and take all your stuff to go back to the same neighborhood. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think I knew an intern of mine just put all of her stuff in her car for 2 weeks.
See, I would love that. I would love to put all my stuff in my car for 2 weeks. I used to drive a Mini, and now I drive a Miata.
Yeah.
So there's no storage.
You can't do that.
It's not going to happen.
Also, Austin,
yeah.
I don't think you want to put your whole life in a car that could just easily get.
Yeah.
So.
Crime knows no zip codes. Yeah. So you would definitely want to be careful, whatever you have.
So if you choose to move apartments, you have that 2-week where you're having to put your stuff somewhere.
Yeah.
You're crashing on friends' couches. So you chose to renew, so you do not have to couch hop.
I don't have to couch hop.
That's amazing.
So thankful.
Peace
so
of
excited.
mind.
Yeah.
Are you living with you're living with the same roommates?
Yeah. I'm living with the same roommates. Since we're actually transferring units, so we're bringing another one of my friends. Super excited. They lived in a sorority house last year, so they got the full other experience. It's super neat to hear their date events, coming back to the house and all that stuff, but it's nice to be able to have everyone just be able to move in right now.
Yeah, awesome. So would you say so far that these are looking to be the best 4 years of your life?
These are definitely looking to be the best 4 years of my life. I'm not peaking now, but I'm having a great time. I'm definitely having an awesome time. I love the people I'm around. I love Austin. It's so cool.
Yeah.
To just hop in a little watering hole or go down Speedway. So yeah, definitely the best 4 years for sure.
What's your one piece of advice that you would give students when finding a place to live?
My one piece of advice for students whenever they're finding a place in West Campus is definitely going to be just talking to your family and having that discussion early, because it's super important that you're all on the same page, and you want to make sure that someone else isn't pressuring you and you've already done that. And so just having it all secured and having your family in mind, because that's obviously important. It's their decision too.
Yeah. I think that's a great piece of advice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your stories and your experience.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Laura. So fun.
Of course. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening, y'all. If you like this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review. It helps us out a lot. For more info and to learn about our partners, visit thebest4pod.com. Make sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at thebest4pod. We'll see you next time.